Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. So, streaming from a special time. But today, I want to talk about what happened to Bitcoin and what happened with the US market overall and what happened to some of these altcoins, right? I got a lot to talk about, a lot to share. So, let's get started. Welcome, guys. Like I said, I'm streaming a little bit earlier. That's because I got some stuff going on tonight, but there's still a lot to talk about. The U.S. market just closed a few hours ago, and you can see it closed pretty red, even though there's not a whole lot of news that came out today that should have dropped the market, but it did. But there's one thing, or a couple things that stand out. Number one is this. Alphabet, Google fell down 7%. And this is after their hyped up AI event. Okay, obviously, this is seen as a desperate move by Google because this comes a day afterwards when Microsoft showcased ChatGPT and all the great things they're going to do with it and integrate with the Bing and how other companies can customize and stuff like that. Google did somewhat of the same thing with their new AI bot called Bard, but it was seen as a great disappointment and they fell down. But this shows you how worried Google is that they quickly purchased shares into this company, quickly did a showcase, right? A day after Microsoft. And now it's hurting. It's hurting them badly. So it kind of shows you how advanced ChatGPT is versus everyone else out there. Well, it's early. Google could figure it out, but I don't recall the last time Google fell down 7%. Even during bad NASDAQ days, bad red days, usually 4 or 5%, but Wall Street sent a message saying, hey, you guys are clearly behind the ball right now. So I want to talk about that real quick. Another thing that stood out is, of course, Disney. They actually beat earnings. They beat earnings, and they're reorganizing 3 different divisions. They're cutting costs, cutting jobs. 7,000 sounds like a lot of jobs, but they employ over 220,000 people, so it's a small portion. But they are going to split up into 3 divisions. Disney, which is their Disney Plus division, and movies, ESPN, and then their parks. So that's something new in case you are interested about Disney. And then, of course, what about Robinhood? A lot of you guys got into crypto with Robinhood, probably because of Doge, maybe a little bit of Bitcoin, right? But Robinhood's revenue dropped tremendously in Q4 in 2022. Overall, the whole year of 2022 has been bad. Robinhood also tied in with FTX. A lot of their shares tied up in the bankruptcy hearing, right? But Vlad is not feeling so hot right now because they are losing money left and right. But it's not just them. Coinbase announced big layoffs. Kraken announced big layoffs. Crypto.com announced big layoffs. Everyone kind of struggled in 2022. So this is not really a surprise, not just on them, but, for those of you guys that are using Robinhood, you could wait for their new wallet. That's pretty exciting. Their new custodial wallet, which allows you to send and receive crypto so your crypto won't be locked up within Robinhood's own app. I mean, that's pretty exciting. So that is something to look forward to, but, overall, not a surprise, right? But what happened with Bitcoin, right? What am I talking about? What happened to Bitcoin today? Well, this morning I talked about the Golden Cross, right? A lot of you guys know about the Golden Cross. Let me remove my camera. You can see here on a daily chart, Bitcoin did form a Golden Cross, which is really, really bullish, right? And I showcased this morning. Previous times Bitcoin formed a Golden Cross, we went up hundreds to thousands of percent, right? So it's a very bullish thing, and that did happen. So yes, that's number one. But also others, there's so many other things that's happening with Bitcoin right now, right? But here's a couple others in case you're not aware, you don't believe, you still think it's all it's all gigantic bull trap, right? But there's others, like this one, for example. Simple, very simple. Just looking at the RSI. Okay, looking at a very simple indicator like this that shows you exactly, if you look at when Bitcoin broke above the 50 point on the RSI, what happened, right? The previous two times, and back in 2015, 2016, and back in 2019 and 2020, both times it happened, tremendously good things happened to Bitcoin afterwards, right? And we have just broken above that again. So yes, this happened. This doesn't come very often. You don't see oversold levels this often and a recovery from oversold levels, right? But every so often, every 4 years, we do see that. And here's one of those cases. And here's something else that relates to RSI. If you look at this, you look at zoom in on 2018, 2019, when we were recovering once again from bottom, right? There's so many similarities between that bottom and our current bottom. But you could see when Bitcoin started breaking up, it actually formed 3 tops. There's a couple mid tops and then finally the top before it kind of stabilized. But you could see that the first top brought Bitcoin from 3,000, yes, 3,000 to about 5,000, right? Then the next one brought about 7,000, and then the next one brought it to like 14,000. But if you look at RSI, you can see every single time RSI pumped up, came back down, hit a trend line, and then it went back up again, hit a trend line, and then went back up again, right? So look at what happened before in 2019 and look at what's happening right now. We definitely broke up from the bottom. You know, the RSI hit the top and now bounced to a trend line. Is it about to get ready to form mid-top number 2? And then are we going to get a mid-top number 3? And that all ties in to what I covered this morning. Whenever a golden cross happens, you have a tremendous movement. And the last time this happened in 2019, you see all those mid-tops I was talking about. Last time it happened, Bitcoin went up 154%, approximately. 154%. That would place Bitcoin right around $60,000 in about 60 days. We're talking about April, May timeframe, right? If we're following the same pattern as before. So that just happened. So I want to give you guys a little bit more. If you weren't convinced enough, a little bit more to help you stay focused, stay focused basically for the future, because this is what's coming, right? When you come off from a bottom and we had a horrible 2022, the most longest prolonged down we have ever seen in Bitcoin's history, right? But whenever you have very oversold levels, get ready because the upside is quite tremendous and we have had some crazy breakouts before. All right, so there you go. Okay, now, obviously I did lead off with this and AI, and everyone is talking about AI right now, right? What about another AI project? Well, it's not really AI project, but I have a sense that people are just, kind of jumping on a bandwagon. This morning, I talked about this. Near actually pumped up quite a lot today, right? And that's because they tweeted this where AI is near. And then they talked about how near protocol could serve as an infrastructure, empowering the next generation AI use case, right? Obviously, just to hop on the bandwagon, it worked because near started pumping after this tweet, right? But are there any other good things besides just, hopping on the bandwagon type tweets? Well, Near is a promising protocol. For those of you guys don't know, it's L2. It's very similar. People compare it to like a mini Solana. Very well backed, a lot of VCs, very fast, proof of stake chain, right? And they're still young. They're still growing their ecosystem. But they have several other things going on for them besides just tweeting out about AI. They also recently integrated with Ledger. A lot of you guys use Ledger as your hardware wallet. Right now, you could stake directly from Ledger. You could stake your Near so that you don't have to lose possession of it and still help secure the network and earn staking rewards. Not only that, Ledger itself supports Near, so you can store your Near tokens on a Ledger device. So that's pretty big in terms of hardware support. Not every token, not every chain gets supported by Ledger right away. Also, they do have like an incubator program, right? They do have a foundation, and they're trying to get other partners to help them draw in more dApp makers to help grow the ecosystem. And they just announced this today, in fact, right? So they're looking for partners that actually, basically, they have experience with incubating projects because they're serious about this and they really want to grow out their dApp ecosystem. So pretty positive overall. They also have other things going on. Here's one to, they're bridging to Calimero, which is a privacy chain. So if you wanted to conduct transactions in privacy and you don't want people to track it, well, here's a use case for it. So it is bridging to it so that you can bridge to it, do whatever you need to, right? So they are still forming bridges with other chains as well. So that's kind of like some of the things that's happening with Near right now. But overall, like I said, it's a promising L1. And they have been moving quite a lot recently. So, I mean, a lot of enthusiasm coming back. So we'll see what else they do in the future, right? So want to give you a little more information on what I covered about Near this morning, besides just their AI tweet. Now, you may have noticed some of the other projects are moving. For example, MATIC, Atom, a lot of these L1s, L2s are moving upwards. But MATIC, you guys know, one of my favorite projects out there, and they have been moving pretty well recently, right? There's really no big news, nothing huge that has happened. But what is exciting is their ZK EVM. They're about to launch their main net ZK EVM. Right now it's in testnet, but there's a ton of transactions already. And you may be wondering, what is ZK EVM? Basically, it's the Ethereum virtual machine, but using ZK rollups, which means it's much faster, much cheaper than any Ethereum dApp out there that wants to utilize something like this can, because of course Polygon is a layer 2 and is fully compatible with all Ethereum-based apps, right? So they are getting ready to launch this, and during this interview, they basically confirmed that it's coming in March. So that's about 1 month's time frame, right? It's going to be a game changer. No one else has a ZK EVM. They utilize ZK rollups or just rollups in general to scale the L2. But as for processing smart contracts, it's still using Ethereum virtual machine, which is still quite slow. This is actually a huge game changer that no one else really has within the Ethereum ecosystem, right? And of course, they are partnered up with some of the biggest companies out there. Some of the ones that have been doing really well recently, like Sandbox, Decentraland, yes, on top of Polygon. You have Animoca Brands, there's huge NFTs. You got DraftKings. You got a whole bunch of companies and brands. This doesn't even show you, like, it does show you Facebook, but like Reddit and Coca-Cola and Starbucks, they're all partnered up with Polygon as well. So they're just an absolutely huge project. That's quite simply it. There's a couple other things. I saw this for you Vechain fans. So this is out of the blue. So in March 4th, there will be a summit called the Hive in Las Vegas, and it's completely free, held at the Red Rock Hotel, right? And the whole summit is just about what's going on in Vechain. Vechain made some news in 2022. They got their own stable coin, right? They changed to POA 2.0, which means basically it's more secure, more decentralized, faster. They're also making a big push into DeFi, really catering to the West, right? But I'm sure there's other things I missed up on. I don't even know about. So this is quite interesting for those of you guys that want to attend a conference or a summit that's actually free, which it's unheard of in crypto. Everyone wants to charge like $1,500 per ticket. Like, who is going to attend those, right? So I'm glad to see this is happening. So save that date on your calendar if you can attend. And then I did see this also. I don't hear much about Aptos, right? But there is a giant Indian social app, Chingari. And they have partnered up with Aptos to come out with a TikTok clone, but it's a decentralized version of it, and it will be exclusive on Aptos. I don't know how big this company is. But maybe some of you guys, I know some of you guys watch me from India. Maybe you could chime in. Are they like the TikTok of India? And if so, this is a pretty big thing, right? But I don't quite know. It's hard to compete with TikTok, that's for sure. And then lastly, I did see this. Lawyers, the new CEO and advisors have cost FTX already $20 million just for 51 days of work. I mean, it sounds like a lot, but if they could recover billions upon billions upon billions, I guess it's worth it. But still, this is how much it costs to go through a bankruptcy and hire a whole bunch of lawyers and advisors, right? And it's not anywhere close to be done. So unfortunately, this is still happening. All right. That's pretty much it. The only other thing is today is actually Wednesday. So last week, you guys know, I got my dates confused and I did DCA during Tuesday night, not Wednesday night. And today is Wednesday night. So I pulled up my portfolio here and you can see this is looking good. Only minus 28%, minus 29%. This is higher than last week. Last week was like minus 32%. The week before was minus 40%. So we are recovering up. Well, actually, it shows I'm down for a week, but I know we were much lower before. But anyways, regardless, we are climbing up. 1 month is plus 44%. That's not bad. But, you know, the whole point of this DCA portfolio is to keep going, right? DCA, take the guessing out of it. Eventually, we're going to see this in the green, and we're going to profit from our DCAing throughout all these weeks, right? So, you know what? I haven't really thought about it. You know, last week I added some good ones. I think I added, what did I add last week? I think I did add a few L1s. I think I added like Chainlink. I may have added Cadena last week. I know I added Fetch just to have a speculative AI play. That was like a couple weeks ago. You know, Phantom has been doing really well. They're a little bit down today. You know what I don't have enough of is I don't have like some of the promising L2s. Like Optimism looks pretty promising. I don't have them. They're relatively not, I wouldn't say new, but something that I haven't really paid attention much to. But I like my L1s and L2s, so I'm going to stick with it. I think I'm just going to add a bit more. You know what? I'm going to add some vet since I cover some vet. Why not? Haven't DCA'd into them in a while. I'm going to add some vet. I'm going to add some Phantom. And Polygon. I love Polygon. If I never know what to put, I would just choose Polygon because I believe in it that much. So let's add some Polygon here. So we'll do $33. So that's about 25. And then let's add some Phantom. I do like Phantom a lot too. $33. So that's about 62.85. And then let's add some Vechain. There we go. All right, so $33 into Polygon, 33 in Phantom, 33 in Vechain for this week. All right, we're getting closer and closer, guys. This portfolio, I know it's still in the red, but DCA $100 every Wednesday, every week. We come up from minus 55, 58%. Now we're at negative 28%. Pretty soon we'll be at negative 10%, and pretty soon we're going to be in the green. So that's it. All right, let's do some Q&A. Let's see. Scrolling. How long after the halving do you see a parabolic run? Usually immediately. Usually after. I don't have a chart with me, but I did show a few recently. But usually right after the halving event is when things go pretty nutty afterwards. Is XCN screwed? I don't. What is XCN? I have no idea what XCN is. What? Valentine? I have no idea what you just said there about Tate. I have no idea what you just said, but I appreciate the super chat. All right, still scrolling here. Tommy, I've been using Robinhood's hardware wallet. I don't think it's hardware wallet. You mean just their mobile wallet for a few weeks. Works like it should. I also buy other cryptos out there. All can be sent off exchange. Warning to users, 5K per limit to Ledger. Well, first of all, hardware wallet is hardware, right? So I know Robinhood came out their self-custodian wallet. It's still a cold wallet. It's still a hot wallet, not a cold wallet, and it's not a hardware wallet. It's still a mobile wallet. But it's still in beta, right? So if you've been using it beta and it's good, it's good. I mean, it's another option, right? It's definitely a step in the right direction for Robinhood. But they are definitely bleeding out. There's not a whole lot of crypto trading right now on Robinhood. Oh, Marie, my portfolio is up 17%. Congratulations. Good job. Good job at not giving up, staying strong, and continuing forward. Let's see. Please, what about Sol? What about it? What about it? I haven't heard much about Sol. Sol's DeFi has collapsed. If you look at our TVL, it's actually quite low. For as big as Solana is, you have figured a TVL be higher, but they're not the only ones. For example, Cardano is quite big, and the TVL is still very, very low. But you can see Solana is at number 12, with only about 256 million locked in, right? Stablecoins a little bit larger, 1.7, 1.8 billion. But overall, Solana's, TVL is low. They need to up that. A lot of these L2s, that came way after them are already bigger. I am going to the new auto show. But I'm attending as media, so that'll be tomorrow. Can you give your thoughts on a new Subaru Crosstrek? I haven't seen a new one yet, if they're announcing a new one, but the current Crosstrek, it's just too small. It's just way too small. It's not even a subcompact SUV. It's like a micro compact SUV. It's just way too small. But we'll see if they announce a new one. Is L1s next to pump? L1s have been pumping. A lot of them have been. So, it's good. Do they count Cardano staking since it's never locked? No, native staking is different than what I'm showing here. This is like on top of DeFi projects, right? Like liquidity providers. For example, like Uniswap or SushiSwap or PancakeSwap. or any other swaps or liquidity providers like Aave, Compound, and there's a whole bunch. But for Cardano, there's a few like MinSwap and Sunday Swap, and there's a few others, but there's just not a lot of TVL on them. Not yet, anyways. Yeah, a lot of people is asking me, you're streaming early? Yes, I am, because I got something to go to tonight. In fact, that's about it. I'm going to let you guys go. Overall, a lot of things happen with Bitcoin. If you missed it, you need to rewind. And I covered a few crypto projects as well that I think are pretty good, especially Polygon. And I DCA'd for you guys, okay? So smash the like, subscribe to the channel. Have a good one, and I'm going to see you guys tomorrow, bright and early. All right? Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.